My next guest seems to be fighting like every month. He's back in action on short notice yet again. He's taking on Peter Barrett coming up here at UFC Fight Night on August 8th. It is the Moroccan Devil, Youssef Zalal, joining me here on the program yet again. Youssef, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How you doing? I feel
I'm
like
doing
I'm talking
well.
to you guys every month now.
Yeah, exactly. It should just be like a regular guest on here with how often you're fighting.
Look at.
But before we talk about the matchup, though, where are you headed to? It seems like every time we do these interviews, you're busy going somewhere.
Man, it's crazy. So I leave on Thursday. So like I'm going to get a haircut right now. I went to get my suit hemmed from the bottom because it was longer at the bottom. And then like it was every time I was like Ed texted me. It's like, okay, let's get these interviews. It's like, okay, awesome, let's do it. And all of a sudden, boom, things got up. Like, I found out I'm flying to Vegas on Thursday to go corner my teammates, Chris Gutierrez and Jonathan Martinez, so I can get to train with Mark Montoya, the head coach, and my jiu-jitsu coach down there anyway, so we can go to PI and stuff. But for me to go to PI, I have to be tested with the guys.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's sort of a whirlwind here. But you got your priorities straight because, you're getting your suit hemmed. You're going to get the haircut. Is it one of those things, if you look good, you're going to feel good in the cage? Is that sort of the reason?
Yeah, man. I always gotta have a haircut just to feel good. Not just that, just to feel good. You make it's fight week. It's getting ready. It's doing all that. But actually, my barber is gonna be in Vegas and he's gonna cut my hair the day before the weigh-ins.
There you go. You got it made. Are you like Jonathan Martinez, where you get your haircut like every week?
Usually every 2 weeks for me. Every 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Usually.
So you're a little bit more reasonable than he is. I think that's a little excessive, but hey, to each their own, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know. You get the haircut every week. He told you that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
God, I can't. I don't know. God,
everyone's got their habits. I'm not going to judge here. The guy's, he's a nice guy. So there you go. But I wanted to know, when did you find out about this fight? Because I literally got a message over the weekend being like, yeah, you're fighting Peter Barrett. So when did you find out?
So actually, it was like, I think it was like, let's see, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, something like that, like around there. I got a call at 11 o'clock at night, which is weird. I was like sitting at home playing video games, and I see it says Mark Montoya, and I was like, what the hell is coach calling me at 11? Like, what the hell did I do? Like, did I do something wrong, or what's the deal? And then all of a sudden he said, let me add Jason, which is my manager, to the call. And I was like, okay, here we go. Something's interesting. Then is there a fight or something's going on? I don't know. And then he said, yeah, we got you a fight. We confirmed it. And I was like, what? I was like, all right, let's do it. I was like, I ain't got nothing else to do, so let's do it.
That's awesome. So you didn't even get a chance to say yes. Mark already made that decision for you.
No, so they know. They know for me, it's like whenever there's a decision, they know that I'm going to say yeah. So they really don't really think about what, they know exactly what I'm going to say. So for them, it's just yes or no decision,
Yeah. No, and just to clarify that, I'm not throwing Mark under the bus by any means because, obviously you trust him as a coach. If he feels the matchup's good or the timing's good or whatever, then he's going to obviously have a good say in the entire thing, right?
Definitely. Yeah. He's more of he'll say, he'll be honest. Like, this is a good matchup. It's a tough matchup, but it's a good matchup. And I really think you can win and this and that. Like, this is before all this stuff will happen. And then he will tell you all that stuff. And then, yeah, obviously he's like, what do you think? And then that's when I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't care. I'll take it. I was like, I'm just want to fight,
Were you expecting a fight around this time? Like, were you expecting something short notice, or did you have plans of, fighting in the fall or maybe later than that?
So obviously, as you know, what all this thing is going on, I really didn't, I was like, especially at Factory X, we just stay ready, no matter what, we just train to stay ready. Like, a fight can happen next week, we'll be ready. That's our mentality for training. No matter what, that's what Mark Montoya always focuses on is training, and then be ready. So when the call comes in, you don't got no problems of your weight, no problems of your cardio, no problem of your thinking. The thinking can mess up a lot of things in the fight game. It's like, oh, I didn't get my diet straight. What should I go fight at this fight? Should I really take this fight? And this plays a big decision in your fight career, but. For us, it was we're just staying ready. So I didn't even know how close he was going to be until I got the call. And I was like, oh, well, I guess it's early now.
Well, it's a great matchup, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But I wanted to actually talk about your last fight because I don't think we've caught up since then. You got that unanimous decision win over Jordan Griffin. How happy were you with that performance? I know you would have liked the finish, but that was a pretty good win over a really notable guy from Rufus-Sport.
Man, I was like I said, I was like I'm happy with the win, but I was like I know I could have done a lot more better than what I did, but I'm just like you said, it's a tough matchup. It was a vet in the UFC, you know. It was like like 4 fights in the UFC or something like that. So for me, it was to go on there and really just show that I belong in there. I'm not just a debut guy or just a short notice guys, you know. Like these short notice guys, you don't see a 20-year-old do this like taking short notices. They wanna really experience 8 weeks of camp, 9 weeks of camp, and really take a fight and really go from there. But for me, it's like it's all fun for me, man. I love this job, and I just love doing it.
So what do you know about Peter Barrett, Slippery Pete as they call him? 11-3 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Yeah, I don't know why they call him Slippery. I'm interested to find out. But no, I was like, it's a pretty good matchup. Like I watched obviously he fought the last time he fought was in August in the Contender Series. So, and obviously all this stuff with the COVID, he was supposed to be fighting in April or something like that, I think, but all got canceled. But it's a tough matchup, man. He's like a very grindy guy. Like he just stays on you, like very just pushes the pace and stuff like that. And I feel like it's gonna be a very interesting fight, especially for my skills.
No, it's going to be awesome. You mentioned the layoff for him. You fought, I think, 3 times since he last fought. Do you feel like that's an advantage heading into the fight?
Definitely. I definitely feel like I have a little momentum going for me, and that's going to be a little step ahead of him, and especially for a year. I really don't believe in the ring rust, whatever they call it, but I just feel like I am feeling the groove, you know, and he hasn't been there yet. So for me, it's a definitely advantage for sure.
And I know you just mentioned Chris Gutierrez and Jonathan Martinez, like they have their fights coming up. So you've already kind of been in a camp anyways, because you were probably helping them get ready. So you probably feel, pretty good heading into this as far as the camp goes.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, like all my training camp, like my training partners is like, you getting ready for almost like a world title, you know? It's like these guys, I don't train with like guys like, even our amateurs are like my toughest matchups, man, you know? So like for me, it's like, it's pretty cool to see all the stuff that I did. Like, I have Chris Gutierrez, like you said, Jonathan. We have Alex Hernandez now with us. He's training with us. So it's like that's another addition to the game, you know? So like you've never seen that body field and never went with somebody that you've been with for years. So it's pretty cool to see all these things and really just add your game up, like build your game up and really build new levels.
And I know you probably don't train with them too much, but I know Factory X is kind of like a family environment. How cool is it seeing Dustin Jacoby get that shot on Contender Series with him potentially coming back to the UFC?
Man, he's been grinding for his whole life. You know, like you said, he's been in everything, Bellator, UFC, and all this stuff, and he's coming back. So you get to see what a crazy vet he is. And I train with this guy. Like I really spar with this guy, and I do everything. He's insanely motivated I feel like the past year, I think. It's crazy how his game just really changed in a year.
Who's going to be cornering you for this fight? You mentioned you're going to be in Gutierrez and Martinez's corner. Are they going to return the favor? Or I guess they have to see how the fight goes.
No, yeah, you got to see how the fight goes. But no, I got Mark Montoya and then my Mario Correa, my jiu-jitsu coach. And I actually got my strength and conditioning coach in this one too.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's awesome.
I was like, I promised him I'll get him in. So, and I was like, get him in.
How do you see the fight playing out on August 8th?
It's gonna be interesting, man. Like I said, he's he's a very grindy guy. He's very going, and it's very still got little experience. It's not like a guy who's like 5-0, 6-0 that he's making his UFC debut. He's 11-3 and still going out there. So I feel like my movement though and my pace is gonna be something that he never seen before, and I'm willing to make a statement on this fight, and I really wanted to put a stamp on this fight.
Is the plan still to go to bantamweight after this, or because you've had a couple fights now at featherweight? I'm sure you're kind of just like, well, I am winning here. I might as well just keep things going.
So actually, we talked to my coaches, my strength conditioning coaches, my Mark Montoya, my jiu-jitsu coaches, my manager, everything, and we are staying at 45 actually. So my training is the same. except the strength conditioning. Strength conditioning now it's all strength. It's no conditioning for me. It's like they're like, well, you'll get plenty enough conditioning from training, so I'm just building up more muscle now to stay at 45.
I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be awesome. August 8th, UFC Fight Night. Youssef, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. No, man, I want to thank my family, my team, Factory X, man. My coaches, all my coaches, my strength conditioning coaches at Land Out Performance, and big shout out to my wife, Kat, and big shout out to all my sponsors, my CBD Hemp of Care of Colorado, and that's pretty much it. And big shout out to my boy Mario. I'm getting my haircut as we're talking about right now, but yeah, man, it's big shout out to all my family, man. They've been with me and they've been supporting me, and I can't wait.